Hey Leo, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot here to do your weekly reading for January 21st through the 27th. Okay, I think you're gonna like this reading. This is gonna be your story or your person's story. So whichever perspective you want to look at it. I find these readings to be very, very telling. So let's get started right off the bat. We are going to do a little bit of numerology at the end, along with pulling the oracle cards at the end to confirm the story that we're seeing. All right, so let's get started. All right, Leo, so we have the Devil and the Wheel of Fortune to start off here. All right, so I feel like one or the other of you, okay, is right now may not be facing the truth about something, may be living a lie. The Wheel of Fortune, you know, it feels like, you know, something wants to move forward, like desperately wants to move forward. But it's like, there's like a juxtaposition here. It's like with this Devil energy, it's somebody is blocking their wheel from moving forward. And okay, and then we have the Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. All right, so you know, this Seven of Swords, okay, can be, you know, somebody that's trying to avoid accountability or avoid responsibility, showing in this Devil energy here. Again, keeping this wheel from moving forward. It's like the universe wants to pull somebody forward here. And again, it could be you, it could be the other person. And then we've got this Two of Pentacles here. It's like there's a call for somebody to adapt to somebody else's needs. You know, and the Seven of Swords can also be somebody that is typically a loner. This person or you might be fighting that energy a little bit. You know, if this person, you know, spends a lot of time alone, you know, and loner, you know, in so many cases can have a negative connotation when actually it's just somebody that recharges, you know, alone. Some people get their energy from being around people. Some people get their energy when they're alone. All right. So I feel like it's more, you know, the latter, you know, that's somebody, you know, increases their energy when they're alone. And, you know, that's simply talking about somebody that's a little bit more introverted. So more than likely, this reading is probably about the person that you're watching this video for. Unless you find yourself, you know, being somebody that recharges when you're alone. Two of Pentacles, yeah, it's really about somebody trying to adapt to what they feel the relationship needs. And it might be that this person, you know, almost feels like they don't want to feel like they have to be fake. It's like, how do I be in this relationship with this person, with this, you know, outgoing Leo energy, and still be true to myself? All right, so what's the next layer of this story? Let's look. All right, so we're looking between this Devil energy and the wheel, kind of this dichotomous energy here. The Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Swords, and then the Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. All right, so let's see. Okay, yeah, this is exactly it. So we have the Tower in between the Devil and the Wheel. There has to be some major change here because, again, these are two completely opposing energies. All right. This Devil energy, somebody's lying to themselves about, you know, is this connection possible? Of course it is. It may call on them to, you know, adapt in some way, but it's still absolutely possible. You know, I feel like whoever this is making it much more difficult than it needs to be, right? So, you know, there is going to be some type of shakeup, whether it's this person's decision or not. And I feel like it's not. I feel like something is going to shake up this person to help them to realize that it's not what they think it is. Okay? It's not so difficult. It doesn't have to be difficult if they just, you know, listen to their inner self, their inner being. The card between the Wheel and the Seven of Swords, we have the King of Cups. All right, so King of Cups is the card of unspoken love. So we have the Seven of Swords, which, you know, again, I'm relegating almost as a loner in this particular reading. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. So the universe trying to help this person move forward towards what is ultimately best for them, right? And what is separating the Wheel and this Seven of Swords is this King of Cups. So whoever this is absolutely knows how they feel, all right? The King of Cups sometimes can indicate a little bit of suspicion of intention, okay? And I feel like that makes sense with the Seven of Swords here, because this person spends a lot of time, you know, thinking, being by themselves, you know, possibly creating something that isn't there, meaning they might be a little suspect of the other person's intentions towards them, because this person is, you know, struggling with the fact, you know, can they adapt to Leo or can Leo adapt to them? Because I feel like there's a fairly big difference, you know, personality wise between the two of you. And sometimes that is the best way to create the best connection or best relationship, because you're bringing out qualities in the other person. You know, it's a great balance. All right, so let's see, between the Seven of Swords and the Two of Pentacles, all right, we have the High Priestess. Okay, so again, another card of knowing, all right? This person knows that they could be better at possibly giving or, again, adapting, you know, how they behave, you know, when they're by themselves to how you, Leo, behaves. Or there's a little bit of selfishness here, all right? But Tower, something is going to happen that, you know, allows this person to kind of come out of themselves, which, you know, it feels like the Wheel is saying that's what needs to happen anyway, okay, for this person, whether they were in a connection or a relationship or not. All right, so Let's see. All right, so we have the Six of Swords in between the Tower and the King of Cups. All right. So this Tower, you know, they're going to perceive as trouble, okay? They're going to perceive it as uncomfortable, as inconvenient. But this Tower, you know, between this King of Cups and this Tower, remember the King of Cups is unspoken love, all right? So Six of Swords, all right, is about moving away from trouble. So there might be, you know, this Tower might cause them to travel, possibly travel to you. They might be in some way forced to move away from being so quiet. Because this is quiet, this is quiet, this is quiet. And I feel like they, you know, Six of Swords, you can see that she is facing to the right. So she is facing towards the future. So something is happening that literally forces this person, you know, out of this devil energy. And I feel like the devil energy for this person is really about being that loner, or really not trusting people as much as the everyday person does, okay? And then between the King of Cups and the High Priestess, both of these cards are this person's inner knowing, okay? There is unspoken love here, and this person's intuition, I feel like, is going into overdrive, trying to get this person to move. Six of Swords. Okay, and then we have Eight of Swords. So you can see these two energies. Eight of Swords, you know, is about allowing, you know, Eight of Swords is a card of being trapped, right? But it's also a card of vulnerability, or being bound by illusion. So, you know, again, when somebody spends a lot of time alone, they can, you know, sometimes come to conclusions, or false conclusions, or illusions that aren't really there. So it's like between moving towards opening up, which I feel is what this person needs to do, and keeping themselves from being vulnerable. You know, why are people as quiet as they are sometimes? Is because they don't want to make themselves vulnerable, right? So, you know, again, this could be you, this could be the other person, all right? However you see it fitting for you. So let's see the last card. Five of Pentacles. Okay, so here's the deal. You know, I feel like this person, you know, when they have the opportunity, so, you know, we have Devil, Tower, Six of Swords. So that's moving from that toxic energy. And, you know, again, being quiet and being alone isn't necessarily toxic. But I feel like for this person, I feel like the universe is trying to push them a little bit, you know, to come out of themselves, because it will only serve them. So I'm not saying that being alone or being quiet is toxic. By no means am I saying that. But for this relationship, for this connection, you know, it feels like the reason that you have come into this person's life is to pull them out of that shell a little bit, which, you know they need that. They know they need that. You know, and where we're ending up, Five of Pentacles, you know, it feels like this person needs needs a little bit more growth before they're willing to really come out of their shell. I feel like they have so much to offer. I feel like you see that. And at the end of the day, you know, they're choosing to keep themselves in this trapped energy. And the reason that they're choosing that is because they're afraid of making themselves vulnerable at the end of the day. So where does that leave them? That leaves them Five of Pentacles out in the cold, which is, you know, it's literally, it's like spiritual separation. That's what this person is doing to themselves. They're leaving themselves out in the cold, at least for now, because they're not willing to get themselves out of this Eight of Swords energy and make themselves vulnerable. That's for this week. So, like I said, we're going to pull 3 oracle cards to confirm this story that we're seeing. All right, so the first card we have, darkness. And then we have blossoming. And then we have assessing, okay? So this is kind of interesting. This person is definitely assessing, you know, what it is they want to do. You know, do they want to allow themselves to blossom into something that allows them to have more interaction with people, including you? Or are they going to keep themselves in this darkness, in this quiet space? Okay? You know, right now I feel like they're keeping themselves in this darkness because they're afraid of making themselves vulnerable at the end of the day. All right? So, what do we have here? We've got 40 and 33, 73. 73 and 9 is 82, okay? So when you take 82 and break it down to 8 plus 2, we have 10, all right? And when you break down 10, you get 1. And the number 1 means that this person needs to take action, okay? Right now, you know, they're very much in a single-minded energy of telling themselves the story about who they are. They're living the story that they've created for themselves. They might constantly tell themselves, you know what, I'm quiet, I like to be alone, I don't like to, you know, challenge myself around people. And it's like, that's what the universe is challenging this person to do. And that could be why you came into this person's life. This person has every ability to, you know, turn on their extroverted self. And, you know, and I even feel like that's something that they want to do. But especially around love, there is such a heavy fear of making themselves vulnerable. That's a big challenge for them. All right. All right, Leo, that is what I have for you this week. A little bit of a different type of reading than what I normally do. And, you know, again, I like to keep it interesting for myself, then it's interesting for you. That's always my goal. So, you know, I hope, and plus too, you know, I feel like you get to see, for those of you that are really interested in tarot and learning about tarot, you know, this could be kind of a fun reading for you too. So anyways, that's what I have for you. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, if anybody is looking for a personal reading, I'm here for you, and all the information is in the description box below. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.